everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is the another example on applications of Z transform. See the statement. Apply Z transforms to solve un plus 2 plus 4 into un plus 1 plus 4 into un is equal to pi. Given that u0 is equal to u1 is equal to 0. These are known as initial conditions. At the given conditions, we have to find the solution for the difference equation. Okay, already you know that this type of equation is called difference equation. First of all, let us write the given equation once again. Given difference equation is un plus 2 plus 4 into un plus 1 plus 4 into un is equal to pi. Pi is the constant term. Take it equation number 1. For getting the solution of this type of difference equation, it is enough to find the value of nth term. So, what is the Z transform of this nth term? U object. Already you know it. So, inverse Z transform of this function of Z is un. Okay. First of all, we have to apply Z transform on both sides of given equation 1. So directly I am separating the terms by using linear property. Z transform of un plus 2 plus 4 is the constant term. That's why right outside of the operator Z transform of un plus 1 plus 4 into Z transform of un. And finally you will get Z transform of pi. What is Z transform of pi? Pi is a constant term. That's why I will write this constant pi on the outside of the Z. So you will get Z transform of 1. 1 is the remaining term inside. Now we have to write the formula of Z transform of un plus 2 plus Z transform of un plus 1 by using shifting properties. We have to write this both formula very carefully. That is very, very important. What is the formula for Z transform of un plus 2? Z square 4 into u object minus u0 minus u1 by z. Okay, since it is plus 2, you should start the formula with the square, z square plus 4 into, what is Z transform of un plus 1? Since it has plus 1, we can start with a small z into u object minus u0. Last term is 4 into, what is Z transform of un? U object by using this one is equal to pi into, what is Z transform of 1? 1 can be written as 1 power n. That's why z by z minus a. A is nothing but 1. So in this equation, we should replace the given conditions carefully. So, but given conditions are u0 is equal to 0 and u1 is also 0. So whenever we have u0, replace it by 0, and whenever we have u1, replace it by 0. u0 is again 0. So directly I am taking this z square to inside, multiply this z square with each and every term inside the bracket, z square into u object. This is 0, z square into 0, 0. u1 is also 0. So z square into 0, 0. This part is over. Plus 4 into, take 4z to inside again. 4z into u object. This is 0, 4z into 0, 0. And last term is 4 into u object is equal to pi z by z minus 1. Pi z by z minus 1. We are observing that each and every term has u object. Take common out this u object term. So, what is the remaining term in the first part? Z square plus 4z is the remaining term here, plus 4 is the remaining term in the last part, whole into u object is equal to pi z by z minus 1. We need the value of u object, but we are observing that what are the factors for this one? 2 2s are 4. So 2 into 2 is the multipliers for the constant 4. 2 plus 2 is the 4. So z plus 2 whole square. Z plus 2 into z plus 2 are the factors. Pi z by z minus 1. So u of z is equal to pi z by z minus 1 into z plus 2 whole square. Okay, actually here we have to apply inverse Z transform on both sides, but don't apply inverse Z transform in the case of inverse Z. If it is inverse Laplace, then you can apply inverse Laplace directly and take the partial fractions for the right hand side function. Here don't take the partial fractions directly. We have to keep one Z in the left hand side denominator. So I will write as u of Z by, you can write also pi also, no problem. There is no problem with the constant term. So 1 by Z minus 1 into Z plus 2 whole square. Now you can forget this part. For the remaining term in the right hand side, we have to find out the partial fractions. What are the partial fractions? A by Z minus 1, B by Z plus 2, plus C by Z plus 2 whole square. Because denominator has repeated linear factors, that's why. In this way, we can use the partial fractions. So what is the LCM? First take the LCM. So for this type of denominators, we do not have any trick to get the values of A, B, C. Okay, that's why I am using the general method. Z minus 1 into Z plus 2 whole square is the LCM. Numerator is A into, already Z minus 1 is there, so you should multiply with a different factor. So Z plus 2 whole square plus B into, only one Z plus 2 is there, so you should multiply with another term Z minus 1 and another Z plus 2, plus C into, already Z plus 2 whole square is there, multiply C with another different factor, which is Z minus 1. Now you can equate the numerator. Here numerator is this one, here numerator is 1. Don't equate to u of Z, you can forget u of Z until to get the values of A, B, C. Okay, C. So equate the numerators. 1 is equal to A into Z plus 2 whole square plus B into Z minus 1 into Z plus 2 plus C into Z minus 1. Okay. So for A value, look at the denominator of A. It is Z minus 1. It is the factor. Its root is plus 1. We have to put Z is equal to 1 on both sides. Since in the left hand side we have only constant, so you should write that constant A into 1 plus 2 whole square. It would be 9. Remaining 2 terms becomes 0. So A is equal to, this 9 becomes to denominator of the left hand side. A is 1 by 9. Now what are the denominators of B and C? For both B and C, Z plus 2 is the factor. So if you replace Z is equal to 2, you will get C value, C. So 1 is equal to, we have to replace minus 2, not plus 2. Okay. Root of Z plus 2 is minus 2. That's why we have to replace Z is equal to minus 2. So minus 2 plus 2, 0, minus 2 plus 2, 0. A and B are eliminated by replacing Z is equal to minus 2. So C into minus 2 minus 1. It would be minus 3. So you are getting C is equal to minus 1 by 3. So A and C, we got A and C here. It is enough to find out the value of B. For that B value, you should compare the coefficients of highest degree term in the right side. So Z square is the highest degree term. So compare coefficients of Z square on both sides. So you will get, there is no term of Z square in the left hand side, that's why its coefficient of Z square in the left side is 0. Here by expanding Z plus 2 whole square by A plus B whole square, first term becomes Z square and A is the coefficient of Z square. Here also by multiplying these both terms, first term is Z into Z square, whose coefficient is only B. A plus B is equal to 0, so B value is opposite sign of A. Already we got the A value as 1 by 9, so B value is minus 1 by 9. In this way we can get the ABC value. So this method is basic method of partial fractions which is discussed in our intermediate stage. Okay. Substitute these all values in this equation. I am giving this equation to equation number 2. So from equation number 2, u of Z by pi Z is equal to A value 1 by 9. 1 by 9 by z minus 1. B value is minus 1 by 9 by z plus 2, and C value is minus 1 by 3. Minus 1 by 3 by z plus 2 whole square. Okay. So take this denominator pi z to right side. So you will get u of z is equal to pi by 9 into, I will write pi by 9. 1 by 9 is constant. So pi into 1, pi by 9. And I am writing this z here to get the perfect formula. Here minus pi by 9 into z by z plus 2 plus, sorry, it is negative sign, minus pi by 3 into z by z plus 2 whole square. Okay, we have to apply inverse z transform on both sides. So z inverse of u of z is equal to pi by 9 is the constant term, z inverse of z by z minus 1, pi by minus pi by 9 is also constant term. Okay, z inverse of z by z plus 2 plus minus pi by 3 into z inverse of z by z plus 2 whole square. Okay. Now what is z inverse of u of z? It would be un is equal to pi by 9 into, what is the formula for z inverse of z by z minus 1? 1, only 1. Otherwise you can write as 1 power n. 1 power n is only 1. Minus pi by 9 into, we have a direct formula for this type of terms. Z inverse of z by z plus 2 is nothing but z inverse of z by z plus 8 formula. Okay. So you will get minus 2 whole power n. But we don't have the direct formula for the last part, which is minus pi by 9. Sorry, it is only pi by 3. Z inverse of z by z plus 2 whole square. So according to the damping rule, we have a special formula. Look at that one. Z inverse of az by z minus a whole square. We got this formula by using damping rule, a power n into n. Compare this last term with this formula. We are observing that in the denominator we have a is equal to minus 2. So in the numerator, coefficient of z should be a, but here a is minus 2, that's why I am multiplying minus 2 here and dividing with minus 2. So the next step becomes un is equal to pi by 9 into 1, pi by 9 minus pi by 9 into minus 2 whole power n. So here I am multiplying with minus 2 and dividing with 2, negative 2, that's why you will get pi by 6 minus of minus plus z inverse of minus 2z by z plus 2 whole square. I will write the denominator also as z minus minus 2 whole square. So exactly you are able to apply this formula now. So pi by 9 minus pi by 9 into minus 2 power n plus pi by 6 into a power n. What is a value? Minus 2. Minus 2 whole power n into n. So this is the required solution of given differential equation. In this way we can solve the problem. In the next video I will give some more examples on inverse Z transforms. Thank you very much.